What is going on, YouTube? It is Flashback here. Today we're going to be going into a little bit of depth on the recent update on the game Wreckfest. This is definitely something I've been looking forward to for quite some time. It's not really a big update, and a couple of new things were added. For the most part, it's mostly just fixing some issues with the game. And here you see what is a newer track here, the gravel track. It has been pretty much completely rebuilt from scratch here. The new track is very nice, little performance intensive, but it is what it is, I suppose. I am actually in what is now the new Banger 2. I'm sorry, not Banger 2, American 2, what is it? The American 2 edition, whatever you want to call it. It's a very decent car. It's got a whole new handling physics to it, which I'm gotta say I really do enjoy. I don't know exactly what they did. I believe it actually says in here if I can find it. Oh, for one, they improved the gamepad controller, which will be nice. And looks like they adjusted the turning speed sensitivity, which is probably gonna be nice. Let's see, is there anything else that they did right here as I'm looking through? They updated the far chase camera, so now it's higher and a little farther back. As you can see right here, I am running in the far chase camera. That's usually what I run in. The car no longer drifts around in garage and elsewhere. I was not aware it did that. It just did a bunch of different things. Again, here I'm on gravel. The steering on the car seems to be a lot tighter, which is very nice. A lot tighter, a lot more easily controlled in terms of sliding around. Another thing they did with this car is, and I'll actually show it here in a little bit, they actually added 3 different gearboxes of the same 6-speed. So they have different final drives and generally different ratios throughout. Adds a lot to the mix. Like right now, I believe I'm running the short shift because it's what's actually included by default. It's a very quick little transmission, but it gets the job done. Makes these dirt courses almost too easy. You see there I screwed up royally. Been in the lead by a long ways, but it is what it is, I suppose. In this update, they mostly just focused on fixing what the community has been complaining about. So I'll just read through what they say. Now that all the hard facts are on our table, blah blah blah, move on to the juicy stuff of the update. In this update, we've concentrated on improving the gameplay and ironing out pesky little issues you've been reporting. For example, cars are now less prone to being thrown sky high after landing a jump, rollovers are more forceful, and so on. AI also offers a much more rewarding racing experience now thanks to being given more situational awareness and heaps of badass attitude. Controllers and driving assist have also been improved. If something feels off, please try resetting your advanced controller settings to default, blah blah blah. There's one pretty neat little feature. Check out what happens when you crash into a slow-going AI car flat out. The end there saying slow-going AI car flat out, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, I haven't actually tested, I'm not 100% sure yet. I haven't actually tested it out, but I do believe they added ragdoll physics being thrown out of cars, which is very flat out. Content-wise, this build introduces a reworked gravel track with cleaner geometry, more rolling terrain, and generally just better gameplay. While not yet polished, the reworked track also gives you a first look at our new environment set called Fields, which you can see, it looks pretty good. It's going to be using a few different things. Another new piece of content is the banger version of our trusted American 2 sedan, aptly nicknamed Rammer, which is actually the paint job here. So here I'm going through, I was running it on the stock settings for the first race just to test it out, and here I'm upgrading what I can, which there isn't much, but there is a little bit. Let's see, the Rammer is a special kind of car because it features an alternative handling model for you to try, and I do really enjoy it. Let's see, then it goes on to why there haven't been new cars, and they say the reason for no new cars is that they are currently implementing visual upgrades, rims, derby parts, cool stuff like that, to the game, so adding new cars would just complicate that process. So right now they're holding off until they get all the parts currently in. I get that. Let's see, they improved the art on Speedway 2, Sandpit 2, and Mixed 1. Not going to get into those here. They replaced the main route of Tarmac 3 with a shorter Rallycross inspired route, which is this one right here. I'm actually going to do 2 races on it here. This one is still with the short shift, and then the second one is with the, I believe it's the wide, which is the very long final drive ratio. So feel free to look into that. Added more trackside objects to many tracks. Implemented animated spectators among static ones. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even notice that. Added spectators to many tracks previously missing them, and implemented more vibrant post-processing. Design/physics. They improved the gamepad controller. We already talked about that. Basically, easier to counter steer. So it basically eliminates oversteering, I guess. Tweaked keyboard controller for more responsiveness. Likewise, it's recommended. Blah blah blah. Stability control assist is now correctly detects the vehicle slide angle, making cars less vulnerable to overcorrecting when countersteering, a symptom that often resulted in the car spinning in the opposite direction or rocketing out of track. As a result, you may need to adjust your stability control strength, so please play around, blah blah blah. I may turn mine off. I've had it on half for the entire time I've played. I may turn it off to test it out. That might come in the next video. If you do want to see that, let me know. Improved traction control assist for a reduced bog down effect. I always run with traction off. I may try it on half just to see how that feels. Far chase camera is now higher and further away. I already talked about that. Light dynamic objects like traffic cones no longer cause damage to the car. That was very annoying. It's now easier to shatter small wooden structures, making it easier to get back into action after spinning out and stalling behind them. That is very nice. Steering wheel no longer gets dislocated when the car has deformed. It can deform, however. Okay, that's nice. Improved surface dynamics, so rollovers are now more violent with less sliding around when the car is on its roof or side. Cool. So the car actually has, weight when it's on the ground, when it's rolling. That's nice. The car no longer bottoms out as easily on heavy landings, something that earlier on resulted in the car being bounced into air due to collision penetration. That was a big issue for me on the Asian 1 car. Really bothered me. The car no longer drifts around in garage again. I didn't even know it did that. Interesting. Armcos and other heavy trackside barriers are now less prone to spin the car around in light contacts. Oh, that must be backloaders. High-speed crashes involving cars with a significant speed difference are now more violent. That is true. Tweaked gameplay damage to encourage more tactical gameplay, meaning the health damage from being hit is lower with the 100% armor and higher with 0% armor, so you need to eyeball them. That is actually very, very good. I like that it adds a whole new level into it. I'm going to be trying to derby in the next video. If people want to see that, leave a like down below. Let's see, got there. Opponent in order to hit them where it hurts. Oh, eyeball the opponent in order. So you need to eyeball the opponent in order to hit them where it hurts, and of course try to protect the damaged sections of your car. So that's going into the triangles. If you can tell a car is damaged in a certain corner, try and hit them there. It'll do the most damage. Makes a lot of sense. I didn't even realize I was going that deep into it. So here we're gonna go back into the garage here, and we'll actually be changing out my transmission, I believe. My gearbox, I should say. Yeah, right here. I am currently on the short, and I think I go to the wide. Yep, I do. I went from one extreme to the other. Alright, where was I at? Blah, 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 blah. AI is now less likely to cause harm to the player in light contacts. AI is more aggressively trying to overtake. I do like that. AI no longer keeps pushing on after bumping into another car, but depending on the situation, eases throttle and or applies brakes. I have noticed that. It is nice. A lot of good AI improvements here. Let's see. AI now reacts in a couple of different ways when bumped into, depending on the strength of the impact. I believe it was either this race or the one before where I hit someone on like the last corner and they went flying off the track because they couldn't save it. I was actually on gravel now that I think about it. I liked it. It did add a little bit of realism to it to an extent. Let's see. AI now yields a more appropriate challenge of dynamic. Now yields a more appropriately now yields a more appropriate challenge dynamically for various levels of players. Okay. Player can now choose AI class from pre-made sets. That's nice. Technical server no longer crashes when a race event comes up after a derby. Didn't know that was a problem. Optimized foliage and clutter shaders. Good. Optimized cooling. Good. And fixed the horizon draw order. I was noticing some issues. I don't remember exactly what track it was on, but I was seeing the horizon pop up before trees were popping up, and it was just it was a mess. They removed some old textures and moved some others around, so you may run out of textures if you have modded cars. Game no longer crashes when no bend is detected for AI logic. Not a big deal to me, but for custom trackers, it'll make some difference. And otherwise, camera modifications will need to be updated, and you can now create your own custom AI set for your modded vehicles and/or cup mod that the user can pick. So they are actually working directly with the idea of mods, and I do enjoy that. So I think it's going to be it here. They have found a partner to help them complete the game, so now they have hired more people. They have expanded on their equipment. So hopefully everything's going to work out. One thing to note, they will be servicing the game with more frequent and rich monthly updates starting in February. Alright, that's awesome. I really enjoy that. And like I said, they are increasing their team size to speed up the game's development. So thank you so very much, everybody, for watching. If you do enjoy these Wreckfest videos, please remember to leave a like down below. Comment if you have anything to say, want to play, whatnot. We will see you next time. Until then, as always, take it easy. Enjoy the rest of this. Bye.